busy talking, restless mind. We need to calm it down a little bit before we do meditate. So, it is the same like the body. When our body become ill, what we do is we think what are the causative factors or etiology of the disease. We think how this disease created and what are we going to do the treatment plan, and we how to get rid of the illness. We think of all these factors. It is the same with the mind. When we look at the mind, when it's stressed or agitated or distressed, or if all these things happen in the mind, we need to know the reason. First, we need to know the problem. What state my mind is at this moment, and then we need to think the causative factors. Um, we need to know the suffering, in other words, suffering or dukkha, and cause for cause for the suffering. And we need to find a pathway, like a treatment plan. We need to find how we are going to have the peace within our mind, the path to get rid of the suffering. And then the end of suffering or nirodha. So this is really important. We follow this because otherwise, if we don't know what is happening, what is causing the suffering, then difficult to come out of it. So it is same the physical body or the mind. When we know the factors affecting our mind, our peace, and if we try to get rid of these, then only we can reach the peace. So there are things in the world we call dharmata that happens. Sunrise from the east and sunset from the west, and fruits fall to the earth from the trees, and lighter leaves or feathers moves around with the wind. They don't come down that easily. So this is the dharmata of the world. So we cannot change such some things. So the mind also has some qualities. There are three main qualities in the mind: anicca, dukkha, and anatta. I will not go to explain these in a difficult way. I will try to give you an example and try to explain it in a simple way. You have a car, you buy a new car, and somebody scratch it. And what happens to your mind? You will become very stressed and start to worry. Oh, I got this car now, it's scratched. I have to paint this, and you start going on thinking about it. So lots of worries. But think about the neighbor's car. If the neighbor's car gets scratched, do you get the same feelings, same thoughts? No, isn't it? You may feel for them because you are nice, kind people. You may think, oh, bless them, they have got their car scratched. Um, yeah, but it won't build up in your mind. The worry doesn't grow. If it is your car or your family member's car, it will affect more. So most of the problems create in the mind because of the me and my feeling. So this is something that we need to focus on. It is difficult to let go when it is our things or our family or something close to us. It happens. So the other thing I would like to mention is the three factors affecting the mind. So, because we got attached to the car and we wanted the car to be in a specific way, we wish it to be scratchless, no damages. So our mind has a way of thinking how this car should be. And what happens when it gets damaged or scratched or broken, we get sad. So the wish is not happening as we wish. So this is what called Anichcha nature, changeable nature. So this is causing the suffering or the dukkha. And um, sometimes we have worried about things that are not really essential or that are not meaningful. Now we are walking down the road. You see your friend walking on the other side of the road, and you see that she's ignoring you and walking. And you come home and start thinking, oh, my friend ignored me today. I have helped her so much. We were so close. Why did she ignore me? And you start to worry. And then what happens? This you will go and tell this to your family member something. Then somebody will say to you, why don't you call your friend and find out what's the problem? Then you call your friend, and then the friend will say, I'm sorry, I didn't see you. I lost my job. I'm worrying. I'm looking for jobs. Then you realize you were worrying for no reason. You created something in your mind that your friend ignored you. So you will start to see sometimes it's a senseless. The worry is a senseless, no need, no point. So these are the three main qualities that how pain or suffering creates within our mind. And something else I would like you to remember as well, that sometimes when we think about the suffering or worries, it is not like a straight line. It's not there all the time. I will give you an example for this. Um, Now you look at an advert and you wanted to buy a house, and you call them and make an appointment and you go there to view the house, and the person will say to you, so you're very happy when you're going there, lots of hopes, and you go there, and the person will say to you, oh, I changed my mind, I'm not selling the house. Your happiness will go down. And then again, um, the person might say to you, there's another house on the other side of the road. You can go and have a look. Then you go there. So your happiness comes again. And then you go there and ask the person, do you sell the house? Then the person says, yes, it is very much like the house you bought, you wanted to buy. So you become really happy. So the pain, suffering goes down again. So you buy the house and you really like the house, and so happiness comes again. And imagine one of your friends come there to visit you and say to you that, um, I'm not selling sorry, uh, I think you bought the wrong house. There's a river down the road and it floods. This is maybe they sold the house. Then again, the worry comes. You see, so the suffering is not a straight line, it goes up and down. Happiness, the same. So, um, if we understand how this happens within our mind, it is easy for us to let go of things, let go of the suffering. So if we don't know, then the problem, the causative factor, as I said, when we know the causative factor of the suffering, it is easy to look at it and let go. Now, let's go back to the example of the car, the scratched car. If it is not your car, the mind feeling is not there, you won't get suffering, isn't it? So when you get a problem, it's good always to look at it. Why am I getting this suffering? Why am I worrying? Where did this worry come from? How am I going to come out of it? it is same as we treating the physical body. And it is so when we know this part, how to look at our mind, observe our mind, the thought patterns, so then easy to come out of the pain. The other thing is, other factor that I would like to mention is that when we start to meditate, we can develop the samadhi. The level of concentration goes up. But we need to keep on practicing to develop samadhi. We are living in a Vishamadhi world. Our mind is Vishamadhi. That means lots of negative thoughts, worries come to us every day, bothering us. So we need to develop the samadhi state through meditation. So we have an aura. So when we start to worry, and frustration and all those things can make our aura Vishamadhi aura. So when we start to purify our mind, then our aura starts to become purified. Samadhi, Dhamma aura starts to develop. When the Dhamma aura starts to develop, um, we start to feel peace within ourselves. And lots of diseases as well, physical problems are due to stress. So if the stress factors are moving away, then it is easy to recover as well some illnesses. So when we first start to meditate, what happens is there's a fight between this Vishamadhi and Samadhi aura. We need to win the Samadhi side. When the Samadhi side, Samadhi or the Dhamma aura becomes powerful, 51% of Dhamma aura and the negative aura becomes 49, then it is the time our meditation start to develop. We can reach the jhanas. I just mentioned about the jhana last time. First jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana. These are the development levels of our mind. So first jhana has the three qualities, priti, sukha, ekagata. So our Dhamma aura, purified aura becomes 51%. Then we start to develop this happiness and this comfort feeling, priti, sukha. When at this stage, we will feel that our body becomes very happy, very comfortable, and you would love to stay in that state. Some people like to stay in that place because it gives you peace and happiness. But we should not get attached to this state as well. It is also impermanent. It can change. But we need to look at it as well in that way. But then it is a sign that our meditation is developing. I'm not going to talk about the jhanas that much because it's going to be too too difficult to understand at this stage. So just to understand, I mentioned this for you to understand that there is a level that we feel peace, happiness, and all these things. So I think that's enough for today to understand. Another thing I want to mention is in the Tripitaka text, it says, Dasanina pahatabba before bhavanamaya pahatabba. That means we need to understand the mind. Dukkha, dukkata hetuva, dukkha nati kirime margaya, and dukkha nirodhaya. This is the four things. Even we treat physical illness, we look at these four things. What is the problem? and how did this problem occurred, and how are we going to do our treatment plans and to come out of the problem. So it is the same with the mind. When we have something bothering in the mind, or stress, or something is becoming too heavy, our mind becomes too heavy and bothering us, we need to understand what is this problem? Is it stress? Is it anxiety? Or is agitation? When we look at carefully, we can see what was the problem and how it is bringing us suffering, and how the treatment plan, how we are going to get rid of this problem and the end of the problem and peace. So this is really important. We follow these 4 factors. So this is called Dasanena Pahataba, understanding the nature of the mind. Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, the 3 qualities I mentioned. We are going after things and wanting them to be as we wish. And when it changes, the suffering and pain comes, Dukkha arises, and we have gone behind the things that have not really valuable nature. Like you are thinking about, imagining about your friend, that she's ignoring you sometimes is senseless. No point worrying about things when you don't know the real picture. So those are the things about the mind. And then we can move to, when we understand the mind properly, then we can move to the meditation part. Then we can focus and become calmer easily. Um, as I talked about Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, the 3 qualities of the mind, let's meditate on these 3 in the beginning, and then we will do the same chanting we did last time, and then some metta meditation as well. Send some loving kindness to the world. So I think we can sit in a straight position, keeping our back straight. You can either close your eyes or keep wide open. And if you can find a place where there is less noise, it's good. It's helping to meditate. And then we can focus on our body. Our mind is very busy, restless. It runs across, runs around. So it's good to bring it back to our body. So we will scan our body to bring our mind back to our body. Let's start from the forehead. And then we are moving downwards. Cheeks, neck, chest area, tummy, thighs, lower legs, and feet. And we go up again from the feet, lower legs, knee area, thigh, and then tummy, chest, neck, cheeks, forehead, and head. Hope you remember we focus on the qualities of the body, the 5 elements. We have 5 elements that the body is made of: water, air, fire, earth, and space. Apo, Tejo, Vayu, Patavi, Akash. So we are focusing on the lightest element, air element. It has the changeable, moving quality, and it is not fixed anywhere. We are not focusing on how the air moves down the body, we are just focusing on the quality of the air. Focus your breathing, how it moves to the body and becomes lighter, moving, calming, moving, bringing peace. It is okay for you to get thoughts. They will come and go. We are not going to have a fight with our thoughts because it can create tension. Just focusing on the air movement, air quality, how it moves around the body. The light nature, lightness, movable nature. Air is different to Patavi Dhatu, or the earth element, the structure of the body. It is fixed. It cannot change. There is attachment. But air quality doesn't have those qualities. When you focus, you start to feel lightness. Air is moving across the body to the legs, to the arms, everywhere. The lightness. Body is becoming lighter. Some meditation practice only focus on this air quality. Even only by focusing on air, you can develop your mind. Let's do some chanting. Yonis Manasikara. We are focusing on one karmasthana and do the Manasikara, or contemplating, or looking at the meanings of these. Then our samadhi will start to develop. The samadhi aura will start to build gradually. The purified aura. As we talk about the three natures, three qualities of the mind, Anichcha, Dukkha, and Anatta, I'm going to use a verse with these three qualities. The meaning of it is all the conditioned phenomena creates anicca, or the suffering. All the conditioned phenomena gives suffering or dukkha, and everything around us has a nature of anatta, a senselessness, that we go and get attached to things that doesn't have a sense and creates pain. So these are the meanings of these three verses. Sabbe sankara anicchati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukke esa maggo visuddhiya. By looking at this anicca nature of the mind with wisdom brings purification to the mind. This is the meaning of the last part of the verse. Anicca nature brings sadness, suffering. By looking at it through wisdom, how things gives us pain and suffering, brings purification to our mind, or we become enlightened. The second verse is about suffering. The suffering brings us sadness, unhappiness, and looking at through wisdom brings or causes purification in the mind. And looking at these with wisdom brings enlightenment or nibbana. The third one is Sabbhe Dhamma Anattati. Everything has the anatta quality, a senseless nature, and it brings suffering. Looking at these with wisdom will bring happiness, creates, not happiness, purification and peace. Of course, part of it is happiness, priti. So let's chant the three verses and you can focus on the meaning, how things bring you suffering, and looking at it with wisdom, and you are able to purify your mind and become attain nibbana or enlightened mind. Sabbe sankara anicchati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukke esamaggo visuddhiya. Sabbe sankara dukkhati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukke esamaggo visuddhiya. Sabbe dhamma anattati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukke esamaggo visuddhiya. Sabbe sankara anicchati यदा पඤ्ඤाय पश्यति अथ निपिन्दति दुःखे ईशमग्गो visuddhya. The only path to purification is looking at things with wisdom. Sabbe sankhara dukkhati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukkhe yesamaggo visuddhya. Sabbe Dhamma anattati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukkhe esamaggo visuddhya. Everything around us has the anatta nature, causes suffering. We need to look at this with wisdom to purify our mind. Sabbe sankhara anichchati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukkhe esamaggo visuddhya. Sabbe dukkha Sabbe sankhara dukkhati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukkhe esamaggo visuddhya. Sabbe Dhamma anattati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukkhe esamaggo visuddhya. Sabbe sankhara anichchati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukkhe esamaggo visuddhya. Sabbe sankhara dukkhati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukkhe esamaggo visuddhya. Sabbe Dhamma anattati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukkhe esamaggo visuddhya. is Anichcha, Dukkha, Anatta that creates suffering within our mind. Understanding these and looking at these with wisdom helps to let go of things easily, helps to let go the pain, suffering, and all the other agitation in the mind. Looking at things with wisdom is the only way to overcome suffering and to become purified or to attain Nibbana. Sabbe sankhara anicchati yada panyaya passati atani pindati dukke isamaggo visuddhiya. Sabbe sankhara dukkhati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukke isamaggo visuddhiya. Sabbe Dhamma anattati yada panyaya passati atani bindati dukke esamaggo visuddhiya. When all the sankhara or thoughts become calmer, all the attachments coming out of the mind brings peace. The cravings, the raga, the cravings, attachments, when these things come out of the mind, nirodha, the roaming mind will stop and we feel peace and enlightened, purified. This is the meaning of the next verse. All the thoughts are becoming calmer. All the attachments, pati, get released. Cravings are getting rid from the mind, and roaming mind will stop, and the mind becomes calmer, still, and becomes purified and attain Nibbana or become enlightened. Etang santang, etang panitang, yadidang sabba sankhara samatu, sabbuphadi pati nissago, tanhakayo virago nirodho nibbananti. Etang santang, etang panitang, yadidang sabba sankhara samato. All the sankhara becomes calmer. thoughts becomes calmer. Sabbupadi pati nissaggo tanhakkayo virago nirodho nibbananti. It brings peace, calmness to the mind. Etang santang, etang panitang, yadidang sabbe sankhara sameto, sabbupadi pati nissaggo, tanhakkayo virago nirodho nibbananti. Etang santang, etang panitang, yadidang sabbe sankhara sameto, sabbupadi pati nissaggo, tanhakkayo virago nirodho nibbananti. Etang santang, etang panitang, yadidang sabbe sankhara sameto, sabbupadi pati nissaggo, tanhakkayo virago nirodho nibbananti. Etang santang, etang panitang, yadidang sabbe sankhara sameto, sabbupadi pati nissaggo, tanhakkayo virago nirodho nibbananti. Etang santang, etang panitang, yadidang sabbe sankhara sameto, sabbupadi pati nissaggo, tanhakkayo virago nirodho nibbananti. When the samadhi develops, the samadhi aura will start to develop. The positive energy develops, creates a positive samadhi aura, which can do lots of things, bring peace, helps to recover from illnesses, and many more benefits coming out from a Dhamma samadhi aura. So, with meditation, with samadhi, we are developing this purification. The world has lots of things happening. Anger, wars, fights. All this creates negative energy. So, with the purified mind, we are going to send positive energy, positive thoughts to the world, to equalize the world energy and bring happiness and peace to everyone. Let's do some metta meditation. Spread some loving kindness to the world. All the sentient beings in front. Let's focus on all the sentient beings on either side of the right. Let's focus on all the sentient beings on the right. Let's focus on all the sentient beings on either side of the right. Let's focus on all the sentient beings behind. Let's focus on all the sentient beings on either side of the back. Let's focus on all the sentient beings on the left. Let's focus on all the sentient beings on the either side of the back, left. Let's focus on the sentient beings below us. Let's focus on the sentient beings above. All the sentient beings, including myself, may freed from the samsaric suffering, may freed from the samsaric disease of the samsara, may freed from the fears of samsara, may freed from the burning samsara, may freed from the sorrows of samsara, may freed from the sansaric raga, may freed from the bonds of samsara, may freed from the ocean of samsara, may freed from the desert of samsara, may freed from the darkness of samsara. May all the sentient beings, including myself, may attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all the sentient beings, including myself, freed from attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all the sentient beings, including myself, attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May everyone have the peace and a blissful mind which can bring the enlightened mind, enlightened state. May all the sentient beings in front, may all the sentient beings of the either side of the front, may all the sentient beings on the right, may all the sentient beings on either side of the right, may all the sentient beings behind, all the sentient beings on the either side of the back, all the sentient beings on the left, all the sentient beings on either side of the left, all the sentient beings below, all the sentient beings above, all the sentient beings, including myself, free from the sansaric suffering, free from the disease of samsara, free from the fears of samsara, free from the burning samsara, free from the sorrows of samsara, freed from the sansaric raga, freed from the bonds of samsara, free from the ocean of samsara, freed from the desert of samsara, freed from the darkness of samsara. May all sentient beings, including myself, attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all sentient beings, including myself, attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all the sentient beings, including myself, attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Let's focus on all the sentient beings of the front. Focus on all the sentient beings on either side of front. Let's focus on all the sentient beings on the right. Let's focus on all the sentient beings on either side of the right. Let's focus on all the sentient beings behind. Let's focus on all the sentient beings on either side of the back. Let's focus on all the sentient beings on the left. Let's focus on all the sentient beings on either side of the left. Let's focus on all the sentient beings below. Let's focus on all the sentient beings above. All the sentient beings, including myself, freed from the sansaric suffering. May all the sentient beings, including myself, free from the disease of samsara. All the sentient beings, including myself, free from the fears of samsara. May all the sentient beings, including myself, free from the burning samsara. Free from the sorrows of samsara. Free from the sansaric raga. Free from the bonds of samsara. Freed from the ocean of samsara. Freed from the desert of samsara. Freed from the darkness of samsara. All the sentient beings, including myself, attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. All the sentient beings, including myself, attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. All the sentient beings, including myself, attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Now we are coming to the end of the meditation session. And let's share the merits we gain from this meditation with everyone who helped us to be who we are today, our parents, those who guided us, our teachers, and also if we have harmed anyone and given pain to anyone, they all can be part of this sharing. And all the unseen gods, deities, Brahma gods, who protects the world, and think of everyone. And let's share these merits we gain from this act of meditation. And they can rejoice by being part of this meritorious deed. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Before we end the session, do you have any questions to ask?
I find it difficult to follow the chant because I would have needed to have it written down, I think.
Can you repeat it again, please?
Yes, I couldn't join in with your chanting
Yes.
because I think I would have needed to have it written down. It was quite long and I didn't catch it.
All right, okay. So I will share in writing so you can look at it when I'm chanting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will do it next time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions, please? No? Okay, everyone. Thank you for joining the session and see you in a few weeks' time. Teruvan Saranai.
Thank you, Shambhika. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Champika. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. The thought is important. The effort, even it's late.
I just finished another session before that.
That's great.
Thank you.